Good evening and welcome to the Public Health and Safety meeting for Monday, April 21st, 2025. At this time, we ask for reflections and moments of meditation for those we lost. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we ask all to rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Yes, all of me see it. As I said before, this is April 21st, 2025, Public Health and Safety Committee meeting. Okay. Gathered here this evening, we have our Township Manager, Pat Stasio. We also have my fellow commissioners, Ben Benuti and Kip McFetrick, and I'm Charles Whiting. We also have our solicitor, Brianna Bryant, here also. She's our solicitor. We have the approval of the minutes for the March 17th meeting, please, gentlemen.
Good with me?
Good? Yes, sir. Good, okay. Now, do we have any items, the non-agenda items for this meeting?
The only thing I'm going to bring up, the board met in executive session prior to this meeting for settlement negotiations and personnel issues.
Okay, thank you. Any other? No? Okay, at this time, we're going to go with our roll call reports. We start with Chief Bendick, Police Department, please.
Good evening, everyone. Month of March, we had 1,962 calls for service in the police department. The top 3 calls for service were traffic stops, medical emergencies, and service calls. We had 78 total crimes reported, 24 Part 1 crimes, 54 Part 2 crimes. Total number of criminal arrests was 61. We investigated 69 crashes last month in the township. There were 630 traffic stops made by officers, resulting in 219 citations. Additionally, there were 283 bus patrol violations logged within the municipality. Other related activity, the police department logged over 786 training hours last month alone. Additionally, we had 40 unhoused contacts within the municipality. Just some highlights for the last month. I just want to bring up some upcoming events that we will be hosting in the township. We will be hosting a Coffee with a Cop event at Giant this Friday, starting at 9 a.m. Additionally, we will be hosting a drug take-back event at Giant on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We will also be collecting food donations to benefit the Willow Grove Baptist Food Pantry. We will also have a second drug take-back location in the township at the Walmart at the same time from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Additionally, we are still hosting our Junior Police Academy on July 30th and 31st. I checked this afternoon. We have 3 spots remaining, so I would encourage anyone that's interested to please visit our Parks and Recreation website and make sure they sign up as soon as they possibly can, because again, it's a very popular program and spots are going quickly. So that is all I have for the report for the police department this month.
Okay, any commissioner comments for the police chief?
I would just like to thank the chief. I've been sending him several pictures of not actually graffiti, but stickers they're putting over the speed limit sign or on our poles and stuff. And he has been taking care of it with the department to call these people and tell them we have an ordinance against it, or you're getting fined. So it's a little bit of time that consumes them, but the board agreed a year ago. We're tired of all the stickers that they put over top of signs and everything else to make it look trashy. So thank you for helping with that and taking care of it.
Sir, thank you.
Any other commissioner comment?
Yeah, I have a comment. We spoke about this sometime last year in regards to Huntington Road speed limit, which is currently 35 miles per hour. And I think I appreciate everything that the police department's done regarding keeping an eye on that, as well as Public Works, as in reference to clearing it out as much as possible. However, I live near that intersection and has not slowed anyone down. So I would like to propose that we lower that speed limit to 25 miles per hour from Huntington and Turwood to Huntington and Masons Mill Road.
That is something that your department would have to, I think, okay that before we would make a decision, so.
Understood. I know we've been speaking with Commissioner Benvenuti about this problem since the end of last year. We've tried to, being mindful of the fact the road's very narrow, it's lined with trees and brush, and the topographical changes of the road do lend itself to some concern there. We did do a traffic study in July of last year. We did find that the 85th percentile was 33 miles an hour. There are a few crashes there. When we discussed this matter last year, we were going to take some proactive steps to include the use of the radar signs and try and, once the spring the foliage started to come about, we were going to look and see if there were any areas of concerns that needed to be addressed there. But again, if that's what the commissioner's wishes are, we'll take a look at and evaluate this and come back with a recommendation for the board to consider.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, Chief, where the committee agrees with the commissioner, we would like for you to take another look at it,
Very good, sir.
please.
One more comment. So this is in reference to an ordinance which we do not have. I would like us to consider possibly creating for our township. It's something called excessive nuisance calls. In effect, if there's a property owner or property gets repeated calls for police service, after a certain amount of calls, that property owner would get fined. I spoke to the chief about this recently. This would, kind of take care of, we have a noise ordinance. Right now, it stops at 10 p.m. Certain parts of the township, we have some hard partiers that like to take that past 10 o'clock. In addition to what we used to call them fully problem households, where there's always some kind of disturbance or some kind of issue where calls are constantly being made to police and police have to respond. So I think it's a good ordinance for us to take a look at, to consider enacting in this township, and I just would like us to take a good look at it, if possible. And if you don't mind giving your opinion, Chief, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I understand, sir. I did receive your email this afternoon. I did have an opportunity to take a look at it. I would like to contact the Township of Harrison to see what their status is with this. I know it's relatively new, and as well as also possibly have our solicitor take a look at this. But again, it is something to be considered, I think. Obviously, we do have some concerns that do arise in the township, as in any municipality. And if this gave us an opportunity to try and at least balance the wants and needs of our citizens to regulate some of these issues that we are confronting, then I think it's something we should at least definitely take a look at and go from that point forward. So I'll do some research. I'll forward this to Mr. Kilkenny's office if they want to take a look at it as well, with the approval of the township manager, and we'll go from that point forward, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Appreciate it.
All right, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Chief, we're going to let you gather the information, do your field study, and see what you come up with, okay?
Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any public comments for the chief?
No.
Say something?
Oh, wait a minute, you've got one.
Yes, please.
So, I am.
Got to come up to the microphone, please?
Okay, sure.
State your name and address.
Excuse me.
Hi, my name's Christy Mitzez. I live at 2441 Huntington Road, and I'm one of the people who has been talking to Anthony about the need to lower the speed limit. The road, as you noticed, is very narrow. There's a lot of blind spots as you come around there. And as a resident, it's actually feels dangerous sometimes just trying to get your mail out. We live closer to the bottom at the Turwood interchange, and it's pretty evident that lots of times cars don't even stop before they make the turn off Turwood to come up past us. And when they come down the road, I've had an incident where someone was filming me because I took too long to get in my driveway. So it's challenging, but I think it's fixable if we could just lower the speed limit regardless of traffic studies, because I don't know that necessarily you find that there's a lot of speeding on the road, but are you doing it in the right area? You know, you could say at any different spot, it could be different. So I just wanted to speak as a resident, and I know my neighbors feel the same way. So, you know, we're hopeful that this is a change we can make, you know, for the safety of our residents. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
May I say? Yes?
My name is William Hazlitt. I live at 2441 Huntington Road. And what Christine says, I echoed, but my question is, who has ultimate responsibility to make this decision? And I ask that because when we first had police officers talking to us about it, they said they had to have the commissioners decide, that it's your decision. Now, tonight, it sounds like you're going back to the police chief and kicking it down the lane a little bit. So who's going to make this decision, and how is it going to be made?
I'll answer that. This board makes the decision. But
Okay.
we always make our decisions, not always, 99% of the time, with the recommendation of whatever department that comes from. Okay, so if it's a parks issue, we always make sure we go over it with the parks. That director tells us what they found out of
And in
the
this
whole
case,
thing.
it's the
And then they
police
give it to
commissioner.
us. We make that decision because it's a township road. It
Okay.
is the Board of Commissioners.
So we brought this up a year ago. It's been a year of discussions. How do we resolve it?
That as soon as he gets back to us, we'll say a yes or no.
Okay, thank
Probably
you.
within a month, I would think.
Yes, sir. I will meet with the traffic safety unit tomorrow. We'll have some discussions about this as well. I know some of the data that we've collected indicates that the speed is not an issue, but again, taking into consideration what the citizens have said here, I do understand there's a lot of topography issues in the
We
winding.
appreciate, getting to the end of the process. Thank you.
Understood. Very good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other public comments from the police chief?
Anthony Trophy, Ward 6-1. I'd like to submit for consideration that by lowering the speed limit, those that are already aggressive drivers will continue to be aggressive drivers, and lowering the speed limit will do nothing but aggravate them and potentially irritate them to behave more recklessly with lowering the speed limit. And also with the nuisance fee fine, by repeatedly using them, that could, in theory, be used as a tool for neighbors to fine those they don't like. If they repeatedly call, then they're effectively enforcing a fine onto them. So that would have to have some fairly strict regulations and rules with that.
Thank you.
I'll respond to that. We would leave everything to the officers. They're intelligent enough to know if the call is BS or not. We had something similar to this in Philly. The officer on the scene is the first primary investigator, so they're going to investigate. And this hasn't even happened yet. So, but hypothetically, if it did happen, that's what would happen. Okay, they would investigate. They can tell, is this, this neighbor doesn't like this neighbor? Are they just trying to get back at them? That probably, shouldn't have spoken. The chief should have responded, I guess, to that. But you probably agree, right? Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you. Any other public comments for the police chief? None? Okay, we move on. Now we have the report from our fire commissioner, Chief Glassman. Chief, please.
Thank you, Commissioner. It's my pleasure to present the March 2025 Fire Department report. There were 73 fire calls, 19 EMS calls for a total of 92. The yearly total is 287 calls. We completed 31 fire inspections, 63 for the year. The permit fees collected so far this year, $14,885. Turnpike fees, $2,475. PA recovery, $3,030. Total fees collected, $20,390. 15 fire marshal investigations for the month. We presently have 35 part-time employees, 5 active volunteer firefighters, 4 administrative, and we have 4 recruits that will graduate from the fire academy on March 20th. We assisted with a building fire that ended up being in Hatboro on 331 on Warminster Road. That is the only one property that belongs to Hatboro, believe it or not. There are 2 smoke detectors installed. We attended 3 community events with 100 people, and 31 personnel completed 255 hours of training. Again, I went with the chief of police to the middle school, and we did a book reading in several classes. I participated in the Montgomery County Emergency Management meeting and the Eastern Montgomery County Emergency Management meeting. Chief Bendick attended with me down in Cheltenham, and there was an overview of evacuations of nursing homes, because we've had 3 of them in the county last winter. So we were reviewing those nursing home incidents. And that completes that report. I have 3 pictures for you in town. Hopefully we can get them on there. Commissioner Whiting, you always ask me about a safety tip. That's my safety tip. I'm going to hit 2 birds at 1 stone. That was a 6-plug adapter. Happened in the apartment building right next door at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Luckily, we were there in 2 minutes and 20 seconds because nobody dialed 911. We received a alarm activation from smoke in the hallway. And when they got into the basement, that's what they found in an apartment. Next picture. Luckily, like I said, we were there in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. If that would have gone on for, another 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, that's a big apartment building. That could have been not a pretty scene. So my public safety tip this week is watch those adapters. And the 3rd picture. That's the fire on Warminster Avenue when we arrived at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's our 3 people right there. So people were talking about it, so there it is. That concludes my report. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for those compelling pictures. At this time, any commissioner comments from Chief Glassman? Any public comments from Chief Glassman? Nope. Okay. Thank you very much, Chief. Next, we'll hear from our second alarmers, and tonight we have a special guest, Chris Kaiser. Chris, please.
Evening, Commissioners. Thank you. I can't apologize. He's not able to be here tonight. So for the month of March, we had 317 calls in Upper Moreland Township. 63% were transported, 9% were non-transports, and 26% were other dispositions, lift assist, treat and releases, and stuff like that. They did 3 details in March. The Upper Moreland Band Competition, ambulance demo with Abington Fire Company, and a Boy Scout banquet. They did 1 Narcan administration. As far as staffing goes, our ALS staffing for March was 3,220 hours. It was down from last year. Downgrading to BLS staffing, 95 hours, which is up significant from last year, from 12 hours. And then downgraded to no status, 33 hours. We're down from last year from 48 hours. So recently, the House was introduced a bill for 1152, introduced by Representatives Cooper and Borowski, and co-sponsored by many other representatives, including Representative Gunst. The legislation would be one of the most pivotal laws to help EMS agencies across the state and provide patient protection from billing. What the law would do is require the insurance companies to pay EMS agencies directly for their services instead of paying the patient to pay the EMS agencies. So they're asking everybody to reach out to Representative Gunst and thank them for their support with this legislation and to encourage her to continue her work to make sure this bill gets passed. We are hosting another EMT class, which is starting soon. Just look at our website and social media sites for the dates and registration information. And we'll be running a trauma active threat training day with approximately 30 students from the Eastern Center Protective Services Program on Friday, April 25th. That's all I got.
Thank you, Chris. Do we have any commissioner comments for Chris? Any public comments for Chris? Nope. Thank you, Chris, for your attendance and your things. At this time, we have no old business to discuss, nor we have no new business either. So I raise, we're in adjournment. Thank you. Oh, wait.
There's something on here, is that regulation for, do I have it right, regarding homeowners renting properties? Okay.
Is that on the new
Okay, we're
business?
done.
No?
No, we're done.
Okay,
Okay.
very good. Well, that's good. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we stand in adjournment. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening, folks. Hey, keep the glass. Yes, sir.